Falkirk TV is proudly sponsored by GM Landscape UK.
Tony, it's been a wee while since we last spoke. Are you able to provide everyone with an update on how the academy teams are doing?
Yeah, sure, Adam. So you're right. It's been a while since we've done one of these. As always, there's been loads going on since the start of last season. So kind of no particular order. The under 18s had a half decent run in the Youth Cup, the Scottish Cup. We got to the last 16. Ultimately got beat by Kilmarnock, who are now in the semi-finals and going really well in the under 18 kind of elite league. So a wee bit unfortunate to meet one of the sort of best under 18 sides in the country, but up until that point, really good to get to the last 16. Both the under 16s and under 18s have been going along nicely in their league campaigns. They're both, not that it's important, league tables, cups and that aren't important. The biggest thing is getting players through on their development journey, but a byproduct to that is how they're doing in their games programme. And currently they're both sitting top of their respective leagues, which is great. We've not been able to really say that before. This is the first time that they've both been doing consistently well in terms of results and performances. So it's a kind of nice byproduct, and it's good for the players and good for the coaches to be in those positions. Both got a long way to go. They've both still got 13-14 games to play in their league campaign, but really pleased with the kind of first half of the season for them, if you like. And then sort of beyond that, we've had 3 Reserve Cup games and 2 games in the Stirlingshire Cup. So probably the Stirlingshire Cup is the games that have had the most exposure, if you like, and the young players that played in both of those games I think acquitted themselves quite well. I know that the supporters that were there kind of created a wee bit of a buzz that there were so many young players involved across both of those games, and so many of them kind of acquitted themselves well at that level. So that was nice to see as well. It gives them an opportunity to go and play competitive kind of knockout cup football against pretty decent adult teams in Stenhousemuir and Dumbarton. They both put out pretty strong teams, and boys done great.
One of the most important nights of the Falkirk FC calendar is coming up in the Speakers' Night. Are you able to tell us a bit about how important that is and kind of what you're able to do with the money raised by that last time around? Yeah,
so with the money that gets raised by these speakers evenings is so important. Without it we couldn't really run an academy. Without the money that we generate from that one-off evening plus the annual sponsorship that we get from street lighting supplies, then we wouldn't be able to run the academy the way that we do. So this time last year the speakers evening generated enough money for us to bring in another 2 modern apprentices, so Caelan McCrone and Flynn McCafferty, who both incidentally scored against Dumbarton in the Stirlingshire Cup. Caelan scored a hat-trick. Flynn had a really nice finish for the edge of the box. Without this event last year and the money generated from the fundraiser, we wouldn't have been able to bring those 2 lads in to add to the 4 that we brought in the previous year, which takes us to 6. So these events are so important to allow us to give these lads the opportunity basically to come in on an apprenticeship and experience everything that these lads have experienced in the last couple of years.
Obviously vitally important to the club and the academy. What are the kind of hopes for the future, given the continuation of these events? Yeah,
so I mean, this time next year, a year's a long time in football, as we all know, but this time next year is the next time in the academy system where you can change what you do, if that makes sense. So this time next year is our decision point as to whether we increase from 2 teams back to a full academy. Again, it's 3-year cycles that the academy system works in with the Scottish FA, so that clearly costs a lot more money to run, whatever it is, 6, 7, 8 teams in a full academy than it is to run two at the moment. So these types of events become even more important to allow us to try and bridge that gap so that we can hopefully make that decision to then go to a full academy in the next 12 to 18 months when that decision time comes around again. So yeah, it's so important to allow us to take the next step and get the kind of academy back to where it was when it was a full academy a few years ago.